Hey, welcome back. Today we are going to be looking at some people who got fired. So, let's get right into it.
Hey, what's the quickest you ever got fired from a job? For me, I was working at the Apple store and they had these cardboard cutouts up front, and I was like, damn, homie, I can straight up camouflage myself in them. So I did it. I was pranking customers, homie. Like, they was coming in, they didn't even see me, and I'd just be like, hey, and they was flipping their shit, dog. Well, after like 2 or 3 times of this, the manager came up to me and was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm pranking customers. He's like, you can't be pranking customers. You're supposed to sell them. I was like, chill, homie. It's just a prank. We're all having a good time. He was like, nobody's having a good time. The customers are getting scared leaving and we ain't selling anything. I think this was a mistake. So yeah, for me, it was like 3 hours and 8 minutes. Hey, what's the quickest you ever...
Yeah, you definitely can't be pranking customers, and I wouldn't try that on my first day. Does this guy remind anyone else of J-Rock? Like, I'm getting major J-Rock vibes here. Let's look at the comments. Bro literally always has proof. Yeah, that was him in the background of the picture, eh? That was him in the background. Someone said, okay, you've completed all the side quests. You must now start the main storyline. That's funny. It's really funny. Okay, let's keep going.
I've been fired 3 times from 3 different companies, and they were all my fault. In my defense, we have to factor 2 things. 1, my age of whenever I worked there, and 2, the fact that my parents never let me work as a teenager because they wanted me to enjoy my youth for as long as I can, since I'd be working for the rest of my life anyway. I got my first job at this trendy retail store just a little bit after high school, so it was first year uni, and it was like the cool place to work because it was paying more than minimum wage. So minimum wage at the time was $9, and this place was paying $13. So everyone my age worked there or wanted to work there, and since this was first year uni, all I cared about was partying and getting drunk. Never worked a day in my life before this, so I had no concept of professionalism at all. So I would either show up late, not show up at all, or show up drunk, and like I would just never even call in. I was taking vacations and giving myself time off whenever I felt like it, and I never even got anyone to cover my shift. Since a lot of my friends worked there, I was always hanging out with them and taking really long lunch breaks or just long breaks in general, and even giving myself more breaks than I was allowed. I would take stuff from my friend's department so I could return it to them later, so it gives me an excuse to be at their department and hang out with them. This was all caught on security cameras too, including us taking shots in the change rooms. I had no customer service skills and always avoided talking to customers because I never knew what to say to them, and I hated my department because they put me in the men's underwear department. So I always had creepy guys hitting on me and guys giving me used underwear to return. So I'd been working at this place for 2 months. I hit the fan on New Year's Eve because my friend and I showed up to work hungover, so we were both puking in the bathroom and it just smelled like vodka, and HR happened to be there. So then a couple days later, my friends were visiting me and asking me if I wanted to hang out after work, and I was like, sure. I got off at 9, and they're like, okay, we'll just walk around the mall for a bit and then we'll just come grab you when you're done. And then my manager came up to me and was like, hey, HR wants to talk to you. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll see you guys later. So I went to go talk to HR. Then HR just had like a long list of demeanors of stuff that I've done that I never even like included in this video, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna have to let you go. It was so quick, and they pretty much told me they never wanted to see me again. So I ran out, and my friends hadn't even left the store, and I was like, hey, you guys, turns out I can hang out sooner than later. My friends were like, oh, did you mix up your shift? And I was like, no, I just got fired. Low-key was kind of traumatizing because I felt blindsided for some reason. So I didn't work for a couple of years until I got my accounting diploma, and when I did, I worked 2 accounting roles in 1 year, so for 2 different companies, and I got fired from both of them in the same year. I'm sorry, I can't put the details in this video, so I'm gonna have to do a part 2, and that's the last part, I swear. I've been fired 3 times.
Wow. Okay, she deserved to get fired for sure. I'm shocked it didn't happen sooner. That's pretty bad. What do they call that? Time fraud or something like that? Oh, let's see if we can find part 2 here. Okay, I found it. Let's go.
Part 2, and the last part of how I got fired 3 times from 3 different companies and how they were all my fault. After I got my accounting diploma, I worked 2 back-to-back accounting roles for 2 different companies, and I got fired from both of them within the same year. My first accounting role, I got in so much for being on my phone all the time because the role was just so boring. The company culture also sucked because there were so many snitches. Like, literally random people would walk by my desk and tell management anytime I was on my phone. Obviously, after my first warning, I didn't go on my phone as much, and people would still snitch on me if I was doing something as little as like changing the song or like changing the podcast that I was listening to. It got so bad that management physically moved my desk to be in front of her desk so she could watch and make sure that I wasn't on my phone. She would have rather that I just click around the screen on my computer if I ran out of work work and after I reviewed everything already. They were also so cliquey. Like, I hated going to lunch, and it was like such a high school vibe, because like management would literally be like that group of girls that would like whisper among each other and like point and like laugh. Anyway, that made me realize I didn't like being micromanaged, so I didn't really care about getting fired from there. Plus, they were barely paying me anything. In the next accounting role, this girl that was like the all-star employee just had it out for me. A recruiter got me that job and I didn't have any problems. He only said that it was 8-hour days and I could start anytime between 6 and 9. I was like, okay, cool, and I did my job, and then halfway into my contract on Black Friday, my recruiter visited me to let me know that he talked to HR and HR thinks that I'm doing a really good job. He was like, keep up the good work, reward yourself with some good Friday shopping today, and I did. In the middle of me shopping, like I was at checkout, the HR of that company called me and was like, yeah, we're gonna have to let you go. And he was mad about it too. Like, he was like, don't bother coming in to get your stuff, we'll get it mailed to you. And I was like, what happened? And apparently the all-star employee was talking mad about me, saying that I was coming in whenever I felt like it, and that I thought I was too good for everyone because I didn't like to interact with people. No, it was just her. I didn't like interacting with her because she was always such a to me. She didn't know the terms of my contract regarding the hours, so she made it sound like I was literally just coming and going whenever I felt like it. Anyway, I didn't want to fight it because I didn't like that company either, and I just hate doing accounting. And this was the actual getting fired moment that actually messed me up, because I was completely blindsided that I literally left the store without paying. Obviously, I went back and paid for it after the employees chased me down, but like they were very sympathetic because they could see on my face that I was in complete disbelief. Anyway, I'm not like that anymore, and I actually straightened up and I started working an accounting role again for this really big bank, and they actually had like insane training. I like the training, but I hate accounting, so it was actually me that made the decision to leave this time. Now I've been at my job at this investment firm for the last like 3 years now, but moral of the story is, if you're an adult like me that had to learn responsibility at a later age, don't be ashamed of it. It comes eventually, or it's forced to come out in dire situations when you need to be responsible. Part 2, and the last part of how I got fired 3 times from 3 different companies.
I'm shocked she's an accountant who hates accounting. That's kind of funny. Well, what is up with that? Why do people feel the need to tell on you? Like, do they really think that that makes them look better? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. That sucks. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna look at one more for this video.
I worked 107 hours, and only 4 of those counted for overtime, and they just fired me, saying that I do not know how to utilize time, and that time is being wasted. The best part is that the owners couldn't even do it themselves. They had this new girl from our competitor come in and fire me.
Wow.
And that's it. And they said, you can't come back. And I have gotten them over 120 clients in the past couple of months. And I'm done. Like, I'm not allowed to go back. And that was the reason, which is not true at all. I'm so angry, and it was because I asked them to give their employees a $1 raise. Apparently that's me stirring the pot. So I'm not happy right now. And I told them that I wanted to meet with them in person. So that's gonna happen, and we'll see how it goes, because I'm bringing all of the numbers with me. I worked 107 hours, and
yeah, it seems like a lot of places have a hard time with overtime, eh? And if they tell you, you can't come back, we'll mail you your stuff, like, don't take it personal. That's just standard procedure for them. It's so that you don't, like, come and retaliate or anything like that. It's just standard, it's normal. Don't take it personal, because I know it feels hurtful. But yeah, if you worked those hours, you should be able to get that back. There's got to be some way. You might have to take them to court, which really, really sucks. But, like, you know, that is your money and you deserve it. And like she said, she brought them 120 new clients. I've noticed that at most places, your output or how good you are at your job doesn't matter. It's all about the clicks. It's all about how much they like you, not how good you are at your job. So keep that in mind. Let's look at the comments here. Someone says, you can sue for lost wages. You're guaranteed overtime. Yep. And in some places, overtime you get paid more for, like double time or time and a half. So factor all that in. I'm sure a lawyer would. Yep, people are saying lawyer up. It's an invitation for a wrongful termination lawsuit. That's true. If they really fired her for asking for a raise, like, they can't do that. And yeah, someone says, this is why people don't want to work for anyone anymore. It's so true, because it seems like anytime you work for someone else, you just get screwed over. Like, they just take advantage, and It's just not fair. And I see why people want to work for themselves. You know, it makes a lot of sense. Because you give everything to these companies and then they just fire you. They don't care. Like, look at this girl. She did so much work, brought them so many clients, and all she asked for was $1 an hour compensation. And instead of just saying, no, we don't have the budget for that, they're like, you're fired. So, if something like this happens to you, don't worry. It's probably not a place you would want to work anyways. It's not a good fit for you. And I don't know if I believe in what's meant to be, but sometimes it seems like there's signs, you know? Like, if a place is gonna be treating you unfairly, like, you gotta get out. You don't want to be there. So it's kind of a blessing that you got fired. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. That's gonna be it for today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, hi. Hi, kitty. Okay, bye.